Alright, so the name of this video is going to be Secure People, so-called secure people, raining on other people's parades. I had people preaching against me and my family and creating a pessimistic identity in us. There was people that were following our routines and basically viewing themselves as submitting to us. I call it the cheat code. There are people that go around and they tell people. A girl actually pulled out a gun on me, trying to instill an inbred mentality in me, and told me that I went along with somebody's paradigm, and pretty much, I guess they feel fulfilled in some type of way. It's really like when I look at these businesses, whoever built the building is really the successor, or the successee, however you want to look at it. I don't even know those words, but all these random so-called people with managerial qualities and mindsets, they're looking for confidence. Well, why does she look so dull like that? Well, why don't she lotion her skin? I took heed to a lot of shit. Like, some people be like, well, I actually work out, so I have my mind stuck in a routine to be disciplined. So people admire that about me. Or I work around chemicals and I don't want no cross-contamination with my food items, and I want them to taste the food to have substantial taste. So I won't lotion my skin and things of that nature. But I guess you can appreciate the quality things about life. It's hard to appreciate what you can't appreciate. Like the fact that being a dyke exists and people have a negative connotation on womanhood. When I seen women catering to their boyfriends and planning their hair and keeping it clean, that's a natural order. I used to be jealous of all that when I was a kid. And I'm like, these are couples and they're submitting to each other. You know, I felt like my daddy could have just, you know, I had a mom. So I gotta blame her for the way that I am today, or the way that I'm being viewed, because she had a baby. Actually, she has 4 kids, and it's a very feminine idea. So that just depreciates me as a whole, because I'm nothing like her, in a sense. I mean, I'm just like her, but I don't have any kids. So everybody really predicted my future as being like hers, and I'm like, there were people that were really having access to a better quality of life. And I'm like, I meet people, I meet hillbillies, I meet all kind of people that stay on farms and stuff, and I'm like, wow, there will be people that you'll never know behind the scenes. That's the reason why the production of this company even exists. It may be ugly, they may be eating too much, but there is a state of normalcy. You know, that's why you go to college and study. You can't really talk yourself out of judgment. And that's fucked up. Because that's when I start feeling guilty. Because people had me analyzing myself, and I'm like, I'm looking at other people like, damn, well, if you go to this McDonald's over here, people are going to judge you for eating hormones, and people respect discipline, I guess, right? You grow hair under your chin, it's not really a female idea, it's more of a man-like idea. So I guess that's where the negative connotation on womanhood exists. All right, Men got it so good because I don't know. There's a method to my madness. That's all I got to say. There are people that really is stuck in this whole idea of perfection to where they feel like it's normal to look a certain way, be a certain way, and eat certain things. I've seen a lot of people appreciate life. You got to be an intellect. But, I mean, if you judge people, that's cool. I see people walking around with moles on their faces and shit. I'm like, they obviously been exposed to toxicity, cigarette smoke, that whole shebang. My little sister yelled at me today about kicking me out of our apartment, and I'm like, we shouldn't even be living like this. So I'm sitting here, maybe I'm simple-minded, but I'm thinking like, damn, people really were doing better than us when I was a kid, and I was really born into a situation where after my dad really viewed me as having a sexual encounter with the male species, he was like, well, you might as well go ahead and have a baby since it's affecting you in this way. And it makes intellectual sense, like I've said before, but not physical sense. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and the fact that there were people that were forming, superordinate, paradigms over me and my family, I have to accept that defeat. I ain't gonna call it defeat. I'm just gonna call it a challenge. But there are people that have a normal sense of normalcy. Well, you're a woman, so maybe you need to put a perm in your head. That's normal. I've got people that think that I'm rejected with myself, and I kind of am because of the male species, but it makes sense. It ain't like it's just being a woman is just nothing special to me. That's why you can't feel a sense of confidence. People were like, well, you cocky and shit like that. No, I'm not. I'm sitting here walking around seeing people smoke cigarettes and do all this shit, while there's other people that look perfectly fine and they have made a conscious effort to make themselves look a certain way. When I realized that I had a female anatomy, I really just like, it really don't matter what I do. I see fat men walking around, I see in shape men walking around, and I'm like, some people are getting more submission than others, and these people got haters. It really wasn't making no sense to me why I seen women begging for money from people that really felt superordinate over all of, just random people. It really wasn't making no sense to me. But that's how it works. When you read about kings and queens and shit, you just have to be receptive of reality. When people flaunt their money, this whole street mentality, are they really flaunting it to show that they got respect? Or are they really flaunting it because they appreciate the value of money and what it actually represents from an intellectual perspective? I feel like I kind of slowed myself down for people in general. Will they really be appreciated? I mean, I wonder, having a dad, supposedly, I've got three of them. I wonder, do they actually feel safe being a male? And were they just feeling sorry for us? They're not thinking too hard about their malehood. But I guess you gotta respect what you gotta respect. Some people don't second guess themselves. Some people don't think it's abnormal to go around and be like, well, I know how to fly a helicopter. I've gotten people to submit to me. Let me take you somewhere where you can learn more about French fries or something like that. There will be people that will never get to experience different things of that nature. I feel like I don't know. The role of a man is something that I envy, and I just gotta, you know, realize that It is what it is. I felt like I did them men a favor, and they were viewing me as naive, but I really was sitting there telling them I really didn't want to just go along with being a woman and having a baby and stuff. I really do just want to have fun by myself and make money. So now that I retaliated against their manhood, they're like, I'm gonna keep you broke because of my nigga dick. I want to agitate you for what you did to me. But you ought to be ashamed of yourself because before you connected with a male, you was a goddamn woman. I couldn't stand half the females that I grew up around because they really were stuck in that paradigm. And I had to be receptive of it and realize that, I've been in counseling since I was a kid. And I'm like, when I get older, all these women are going to try to control me because the idea of being feminine and being the submissive role with a male. I have to use a lot of reverse psychology on my mind and talk myself out of viewing this shit as humorous because it is. I really was exaggerating some of them people in my head, but we were all pure when we were born, and at some point things happen, and the reality of who we are got distorted by something. I was viewing some of them girls as cute and pretty until I seen them have sex with a man. Right? It's a idea of feminism. But I'm about to go clock in and see if they're gonna let me work without complaining about my sagging pants.